I thought Fairbanks.
Well, see,
I know
Cold Bay,
Cold Bay,
Alaska is all that is Alaska. When we talk about the Aleutians, so I checked on that with the DC-6, right?
No,
DC-4.
DC-4.
Okay, I think. Okay, the range was 4,000 something miles, which means they're going to keep half of the fuel in that thing. So I checked on it, and it runs about 200 and something miles an hour and what have you, cruising speed. So coming from Vancouver, the distance into Cold Bay was about a third of the way. Then the next stop where we didn't do the runway lights out was in Shema, S-H-E-Y-M-A. And that was an Air Force base that was under thing. And the reason I got to checking on the back of Phyllis's 8.5x11 photo, I wrote down all those places, and I ran over it. I found it. And so I had the fuel stop, and if you figure it out, it ranged about 2,000 miles before they refueled, so they could
where is that?
Turn around and come back.
About where is that place?
That Shema, I was going to show you. It's interesting. And in fact, I wrote a guy that was on that island, and he wrote me back. I said, was it a refueling stop? He said, yeah, but I wasn't there at that time. And it says from World War II, Shema was. The Japanese almost advanced to Shema, and they had that set up as a World War II type of thing. Yeah. Japanese got there to get past
Laddie was in the invasion of those
It's pretty interesting. See, that Cold Bay, Alaska is sitting up in here.
I think it's down in here.
No, well, that's Cold Bay. It sits right up here. And I got another one. And then I think this is Shima Island, which is another about 1,700 or 1,800 miles only into Tokyo. There's Cold Bay. So if you left from Vancouver, you went to Cold Bay, which is Australia. Then it went on out and stopped in the chain out there. And see, that was in that, near Russia and what have you. It was Shima Island. And I'd written that on the back of, I want to leave this with you because that's got a, when we left there, that's what we left at that time, and that was our orders to go, and the fuel stop and cold. All of that is Alaska, is what they say, and of course
I never was quite sure about Fairbanks. I didn't know we stopped Cold Bay.
You know, we've got to talk about Cold Bay not being in Alaska, but it is. All of that's Alaska.
Yeah, the map I had, I could find it, but I'm going to do some looking on it too. It shows Cold Bay way down in the Aleutian Islands, which of course that is Alaska.
Well, it's the beginning of it. That's what it said.
My map shows it's on down past the beginning.
Yeah.
And Laddie was on Adak, Attu, and Kiska.
What got me thinking about it, I got this military magazine, and James sent their photos taken in the fall of '62, and it's in Cold Bay, Alaska. I just got this the other day. I was going to leave it with you. But this is the back of Phyllis's photo.
Yeah.
And that was where it, right there. I wrote it in the Aleutians Islands, March 25th. And I kept all that stuff on the back of her photo, and that's just some information. That was not part of it, but that's part of that Cold Bay. And that's what made me think about it anyway.
Well, I'm glad you unraveled
that. That's the only thing I put that in and I took it out and I put it back in writing that thing up. I wrote you a note, but I didn't mail it, so I thought I'd just bring it up here.
Well,
I thought, you look back through your orders, you might find something, but that chronology pretty well. It's two before miles, and there's that strip, Said if you missed a strip, you'd be out in the water.
Yeah.
Remember that? The lights were out on one side of the runway.
Yeah.
And he said, I hope I land on the right, on the left, or whichever.
The correct side.
Yeah, it's 4x5 way out in the middle of the Bering Sea.
Right.
and it's 4 by 5 miles, and that ain't, you know.
They also shows a plane sitting over in that snow too, and said he didn't see the lights.
I got this talking about the mayor of Coal Bay. You probably want to do a little research on this, and that tells you about the flying in Coal Bay.
My goodness.
And this is a guy I wrote up in Virginia that was on that island. And he said, wanted to know how many people knew about Shima. So I wrote him and I said, well, I think I know about it because you
I never heard
verify it was a refueling stop. And he said, well, he could do that. But you can travel with that.
I never heard of it.
That's my last article.